Good evening, everyone. Today I chose a very interesting topic for us to talk about, which is Agile Auditing. Many professionals and internal audit practitioners have been asking me in the past period about what is really Agile Auditing, can we apply it, is Agile Auditing going to help us finish our plan faster? And this is why I decided to do this small video just to give some main concepts about what Agile Auditing is, and at the same time to clarify some misconceptions that many of us may still have about what Agile Auditing is. But before I talk about Agile Audit, I want to talk about our current risk-based internal audit approach. Is it really working for us? Is the way we are conducting internal audit reviews right now effective? Is it helping us in this pandemic? Is it helping us in the changing risk landscape that many of our organizations are going through as we speak? I think many of you would agree with me that in the past 10 years, although we have been doing our best to live up to the definition of internal audit, it has been very challenging. And maybe many of us failed to live up to the true definition of internal audit. And the question is really, should we start changing the way we execute our audit reviews to get better results, to assist our organizations in achieving their strategic objectives, and at the same time to earn the internal audit function the attention it deserves in the boardroom? And one of the examples I always give regarding the validity of the risk-based internal audit approach, it comes to internal audit functions in banks. In the region, many of the mature internal audit functions today exist in banks. And if you take your typical bank, take the internal audit function in that bank, and you would realize that maybe 70% of the internal audit workforce are branch auditors. Whereas you would find that 10 to 15% in credit, then you have the IT audit, which is a small bunch of people, and then you have a small bunch of people or auditors for all the other tasks. And the question is, when the majority of the internal audit function is focused on branches, are we really doing a risk-based internal audit approach? Are risks that banks face today in the branches, with so many banks now having excellent core banking systems where controls are centralized in the head office? Well, the answer is no. Even when we do credit audits, it's more of a regulatory compliance-based audit where we are only checking documentation. But the true risks in banks, for example, lies in liquidity risk, in credit risk, interest rate risk, operational risk, which is not provided with much attention these days. However, many of you might come and tell me, well, Muhammad, that's the role of risk management. No, the role of risk management is to assist the organization in identifying these risks and setting plans to mitigate them. Our job as internal auditors is to really assess and audit that entire process. I don't want to go into a lot of details on this topic, but what I am trying to say from this example is that we might need a new way of thinking in executing our internal audit reviews, and Agile Auditing can help us do that, or at least it can help us start. It might not be the only way, it might be the best way, but it is currently on the table and it's worth considering. Now, what is Agile Auditing? Agile Auditing is using the Agile project management methodology that is usually used with software organizations, those who want to develop softwares, apply the Agile project management methodology on the internal audit review. That's what it's all about. It needs a completely different mindset for the internal auditors and the auditee. It requires a different cultural setup for the audit function and for the organization that will be subject to Agile audit reviews. Agile audit reviews is more about splitting up our audits into tiny small projects where the auditee is part of the project team. The auditee is part of the audit team with a set of detailed procedures that we need to do during the execution of these internal audit reviews. And we will use many different terminologies such as Scrum, Kanban, Scrum Master, and so on. Many technical terminologies. However, the idea of using a different project management approach to execute internal audit reviews is really what is needed currently to help us live up to the definition of internal audit. Our audit planning can no longer result in a 2 and 3 year internal audit plan. That wouldn't make any sense. Risks are emerging as we speak. We need to be in a manner that enables us to audit risk as it emerges, and Agile Auditing can help us. For the time being, all I need you to consider that Agile Auditing is not an audit that will help us do things faster. It will actually help us to live up to the definition of internal audit through using the Agile project management methodology and apply that on the internal audit reviews. Now, how we do that, that's a whole different topic. It requires a whole different video. But for the time being, I just wanted to send you out this message. I want to wish you all a very good weekend and stay safe and stay healthy. Till our next video, take care.